Mate, that's now saying it's live on YouTube. You know that, didn't you?
Oh, hello and welcome to This is Ibrox, the match reaction, live on YouTube. I'm Martin Douglas, and tonight I'm joined by Willie Boyd. Willie, how you doing?
I'm fine, Martin. How are you?
I was all right until Willie Urban announced that we were live before I realised. And like that, we've also been joined by Willie Urban. Willie, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, Martin. What about yourself?
I'm very good. And best behaviour tonight, lads, because we've been joined by This is Ibrox Supremo Dictator, El Chavez, Adam Robertson. Adam, how you doing, bud?
I'm good, thanks, Martin. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Oh, wait a minute. I've been told by Sam it's not live. Hello and welcome to This is Ibrox, a post-match reaction. I'm Martin Douglas, and joining me tonight we have Willie Boyd, Willie Irwin, and the boss man, Adam Robertson. Gentlemen, how are you?
I'm fine, Martin. How are you?
All good.
So I was all right until Adam pretended we were live and I'd done the full intro, and and then he sent me a message saying, "And it's live." Right, guys, we're here to talk about the game tonight, and what I noticed about the last reaction that we done was I got maced out wrong. So let's try and get something right tonight. Wally, I'll come to you first. We could take this half by half, but let's be honest, the full game kind of went the same way. We were really quite poor, and actually St Johnstone were the ones who got the first attempt at goal within 5 minutes. You know, loose play in the middle of the park. The ball broke to Hendry. He turned Balogun inside out, and it was a good save from McLaughlin.
No, absolutely. I think he gave us a kick up the bum as well. Like, I thought McLaughlin, you know, he dealt with the shot really well. But Balogun's probably been beaten a wee bit too easy. I actually was really impressed with St Johnstone, to be totally honest with you. They came and had a decent enough goal. You know, they were pressing us straight up the park, full of goal kicks. It was like a real high press they were playing. I was really impressed with that. So I think it's the first time since Europe I've seen it, to be honest, that a team was on us. But I think as the game went on, it kind of caught up with them, to be honest.
And Willie Irwin, and we're going to have this problem tonight again because we've got two Williams on the pod, right? So it's just Willie Irwin I'm going to call you. See, for the first 20 minutes up until the Barisic goal, we never really done anything.
No, I think they came out the blocks really quickly. Possibly they were going to start a wee bit more fresher than us. You know, I think they were saying that was at 11 days since they had last played. Maybe they thought they could have an early go at us, maybe get the lead and then hopefully sit back on that and try and see the game out. So, I mean, it was a really good time for us to get the goal when it came about. You know, it was an outstanding free kick for Borma. But up until then, you know, we hadn't really created much. The ball was kind of bouncing off Kent and Hadji. It wasn't really sticking. I think as obviously William was saying as well, you know, the boy Hendry, he was a handful all night. You know, he's good. You know, he backs into the centre half. So he'll win cheap free kicks. It's probably the first time we've seen Balogun maybe look a wee bit, you know, sort of uneasy. Not that he had much else to do it with that, to be fair, but it was probably the first time he's looked uneasy when the boy kind of checked him one way and then checked him the other. But I felt once we get the first goal, it was pretty much control all the way.
And see after that attempt by St Johnstone in the 5th minute, I really wanted it to cut to the stand just to see Katic sitting there like that, you know. But Adam, it's the man we've all been talking about. He's certainly been our best player, Borna Barisic. And in a game like that, we're really not performing very well. Sometimes you just need that wee bit of luck. No luck. It was a fantastic free kick. But sometimes you just need that.
Absolutely. I'm quite surprised he got the ball off Hadji, to be honest. But Hadji was going to take it. But yeah, all pre-season, Borna Barisic has been absolutely incredible for us. Probably bar the Leverkusen match. But definitely our best player at the moment by miles. And
Willie Boyd, it was a kind of poor night for Morelos. Nothing seemed to be coming off for him, and his touch was poor. And just no long after the goal, he had a snapshot over the bar. He didn't seem to perform tonight.
Yeah, I thought he was all right. I thought his link-up play was quite good. He was dropping into space. He was doing a lot of work off the ball, I noticed that. And he was freeing up areas for like Hadji, Kent, are able to kind of work into. I thought he'd done all right. I think after we scored the first goal, you know, we started to take a real kind of grip of the game. We started to up the tempo for a good bit after the goal as well. But I think he was all right over the course of 60 minutes he was on the field.
And can I just say as well, for anybody watching on YouTube as we're live, get your comments and your questions in, and just disagree with everything I say. That's what not everybody normally does on the pod anyway. And Wally Irwin, to be fair, the first half kind of followed the same pattern the whole way through it. We weren't really at it. The passing was too slow. We get the goal for Borna, and then just before half time, fantastic cutback for Borna. You can't even call it a cross. It was a sublime pass and a great finish for Kent.
Yeah, look, the second goal's fantastic. You know, the way that we worked the ball. Obviously, Kamara feeding it into Aribo, then Aribo into Hadji, then Hadji's ball to Borna. But it's usually like, you know, the pick out for Borna. Ryan Kent's brilliant. Very similar to the goal, I think, as they said in the commentary, that he scored at Celtic Park in a lot of ways. You know, they obviously work on that. You know, maybe Ryan kind of like sort of dropping off and looking for that shot. I mean, that probably kind of killed the game. I think if it went in 1-0 at half time, St Johnstone maybe come out in the second half feeling they've got a chance. I think at 2-0, you know, you saw the start of the second half, you know, we get the quick fire third, and then that was it. You know, the game was over. They really had no real interest in doing a hell of a lot after that. The manager obviously makes the 4 changes, which slowly kind of kills the game for us as well, because totally. The momentum kind of dies out of the game. I think overall the manager will be happy. You know, you got a 3-0 victory at home, 7 goals scored in 3 games, none conceded. We've defended reasonably well in the game. We've kind of gave them 1 or 2 chances late on, but I think overall the manager will be pretty happy, and he's managed to give Roofe and Nitton and Davis and Arfield another 30 minutes.
Well, we'll come to the managers after match thoughts in a minute, because I've just watched his press conference and I think he might slightly disagree with you there, Wally. But Adam, like Wally Irwin says, straight after half time, we're expecting a bit of the manager to go through them at half time, come out, bit of a better performance in the second half, and straight away the goal for the corner. But just before that, there was a nice wee passing move, and Aribo plays it through to Morelos, and Morelos really should score.
Yeah, like you said, he just didn't look interested today. Don't know if because he's got his head turned or what, but Morelos last season before December would have scored that easily.
Absolutely. And Willie Boyd for the corner, it's maybe a slightly under hit by Tav, but it's Aribo does brilliant to get across the defender and head it in.
He's kind of wedged between two St Johnstone players as well, and he's done well just to kind of walk in and headed it in. You know, he's not really done anything other than kind of deflected it towards goal. It's probably one they've worked on the training ground, to be fair, because everything else was going towards back posts, and that was about the first one that went towards the front post, for my memory anyway, that I could remember.
And to be fair, from that point when the third goal went in, Wally Irwin, like you say, it kind of killed the game. You know, nothing really happened after that, and the manager, like you say, made the 4 subs on the 60th minute. And again, that just totally took any wind that was left in the game out.
Yeah, look, it's tough. I mean, you get somebody like Roofe, who's not played for quite a while. He's obviously trying to find, you know, the speed of the game here. He obviously got a hell of a tackle on him, which could have been a red card. I mean, it was reckless. You know, Big Itton's going to have to get used to guys coming through the back of him, maybe getting the odd wee shove in the back. It's stuff in Scotland that, you know, the referees allow a wee bit more here than what you probably see in some other countries. Stephen Davis, yeah, again, I think he's just trying to find legs, because in the main it's been Jack and Kamara that's played most of the minutes. Scotty Arfield, I think, is probably going to have the toughest time this season, because I think as long as Aribo's fit, I think Arfield's going to really struggle to get minutes. It feels like, you know, with the 2 players that are kind of holding almost in Kamara and Jack, if one of them misses out, it's going to be Davis that's going to slot in rather than Arfield, because of the way that those 3 can sort of dictate the pace of the game at times. And I think that's where Scott might find it difficult this year, unless like Joe goes through a tough spell. I do think Scotty Arfield will struggle to find a lot of game time this season.
And on about the 70th minute, I think it might be the 72nd minute, Adam, Itton's in the box, and I'm sorry, that is a clear penalty. I know the way he goes down probably doesn't help with the referee seeing the way he's went down, but that's a clear penalty.
I missed that one, to be honest. So
you missed
that one to Willie, yeah. Yeah, I missed it. Doing posts for social media.
I thought it was a definite penalty, to be honest. I actually think he's trying to stay up. And that's probably killed him because he's went down as if maybe he's been looking for the penalty.
I think that's exactly it. Like, it's almost been like an afterthought when he's went to the ground, and I think the referee's thought, he's went down a bit late, and that's why maybe it's looked like it's not a penalty.
Yeah.
But when you see it on the replay, I mean, it's clear as day, and I think yet again it's possibly just the big man trying to be too fair and trying to stay up.
Yeah.
Maybe all our strikers with all our thoughts in their mind would just go to the ground, and the referee probably does point to the penalty spot. But look, you'll learn that. Look, as I said a minute or two ago, it's different in Scotland. The way that things happen in the game, the physical nature, the pace of the game. You'll get used to it. And with what I've seen so far, it looks as though he's got a nice touch for a big guy. I think he'll fit in well. If he is like the straight replacement for Alfredo, then I think he's going to be a nice enough fit. And I think Roof maybe playing as one of the 10s. Once he gets up to scratch with that speed, with the quick feet, it should be a good addition. Whether he'll score the goals that maybe people think he will, I'm not so sure, but he's certainly a big hitting. When you look at his stats and his overall play, he seems to be the obvious one that would be the direct replacement for somebody like Morelos.
Is he just coming in there as well, Willie? Sorry, man. I think you're right with the direct replacement, because I think we've changed our style for forward, and Morelos is dropping in. That looked like it was Itten's game and it came naturally to him, whereas maybe Morelos is thinking about what to do. I thought Itten was very busy across the full. He was working the defence, as soon as he came on. I was actually quite impressed with him, because he came on against St Mirren and he didn't really get involved too much. And then tonight he got involved a lot more. It's as if he's settling in quite nicely.
Yeah, well, I think it's important to see if Alfredo or Itten are going to drop in a wee bit deeper. It should allow Kent to get higher up the pitch, for Hadji to get higher up the pitch, for Aribo and Tavernier and Barris. It's just important that these guys keep getting up the pitch and overlapping and getting in behind, because that's where a lot of the space is coming from. So when Alfredo's dropping off and one of the defenders is coming out to take him, it means there's space somewhere in the pitch, and that's where it's important for guys like, as I said, Kent, Hadji, Aribo to get themselves in the box. And I think, as I said in one of the pods earlier, it's important this year that guys like Kent score goals, that Aribo scores goals, and we've seen it already how important these guys are going to be, especially if Alfredo does move. Then it's important that all the players round about get the goals, because that was the difference last season. And so far this season, we've seen more from Kent. That's 2 goals. Obviously, Joe looked sharp in pre-season. He obviously got the goal tonight. I mean, that's what we need. We need these guys to be scoring every second or third game. It's important that we keep ticking over and these guys keep getting goals and assists.
Absolutely. I think they're confusing defenders. Sorry, Martin, again.
No.
They are all switching. Like Kent's going into the middle, Hadji's going out right, and Aribo's going out left. They're all switching constantly. See, if you're marking that must be a nightmare.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And Adam, just to bring this one to you, on the 78th minute, Liam Gordon challenge on Roof. Now, to me anyway, that's a straight red card.
Absolutely. High foot, studs are up. Imagine if Ryan Jack had done that on one of their players. Absolute straight red. Should have gone off. I don't know. The referee was reluctant to give us anything all game. I don't know how you guys felt on that.
Well, actually, that was the next point I was going to make. Wally Boyd, I'll take that to you. For the first 2 games this season, we haven't mentioned refs. But for this particular game, what did you think?
I thought the ref missed quite a few, because in the first half, you had Hadji giving one of their players a piggyback as well. Kind of just jumped on him straight in the ground. Referee's got his sunglasses on. He's sitting with a drink or something. I don't know what he's doing. But it's pretty poor, I thought. He's the poorest we've had so far.
Oh, no, absolutely. And Wally Irwin, the whole game, right, we were okay without being excellent. And like we've mentioned, when the 4 subs came on, it kind of killed the game a wee bit. But especially for the last 10 minutes, St Johnstone had a wee bit of the ball. And the guy I want to talk to you about, Hollander, I'll talk to you about him in a minute, but they kind of broke through. And the boy, what was his name now? I can't remember his name. He was through and goal, and Hollander done well to get back and kind of put him off. But for you, was that a penalty?
When I first was watching the game, I didn't think it was. I thought he got a touch on the ball. But when you see it on the replay, it's either a penalty or it's probably a goal kick. So it's one of them ones, I can think like the referee, is kind of Willie's talking about there before. I don't think the referee did a good night. When you look at the things he's missed, he's probably missed a clear penalty for us. He's missed a potential penalty for them. he's missed, which I'm not really too sure how he's seen yellow in the tackle on Roof. If the referee sees that, if that's clear in front of him, and he sees like the aggression in the tackle, he's went right over the top of the ball. He's actually lucky enough went over the top of Roof. Because see if he actually makes contact with Roof there, then Roof could have been out for months. So
yeah.
I'm not really too sure what the referee saw in that. I would like to see what he says in his report, because if he thinks that's only a yellow card, I'd love to know what he thinks a red card is, because it's reckless, it's out of control, he's aggressive. I don't really know what he's seen in that tackle, and possibly the manager would want to speak about that, because, you know, that's a danger. But we've probably gets paid £3 or £4 million for a guy who's come on the pitch for like 10, 15 minutes and he could have been sectioned off the pitch, you know, and that could have been his season done.
I think the only thing that saved Gordon but was they'd done another angle for like behind the goal, and it looked like maybe he's pulled away slightly at the last minute when he's went in. I think that's maybe been the only thing that saved him, because if he make contact, as you're saying, he's out for probably the rest of this year anyway.
I think Clive Tilsley actually made mention of it in the commentary, something along the lines of only in Scotland or something like that. He said up in Scotland, that's no, you know.
Yeah, welcome to Scotland, he said, no.
But Adam, is it too? It's obviously too early to judge Roof and Itten. Obviously, the Roof's had half an hour, Itten's had in about 40 minutes. But did you see anything from them the night that you thought, yeah, do you know what, they're good?
Yeah, like Willie touched on earlier, Itten looks like he's probably going to be the replacement if Morelos goes. He's big, strong. Hopefully he can finish as well. And then with Roof, he's obviously quick. He's got his quick feet. Not sure if he'll add the goals, but really looking forward to seeing him play more.
No, definitely. And listen, Wally Owen, 3-0. We haven't played great, but we've still won 3-0. Another clean sheet. 9 points, top of the league. So if anything else goes wrong, we're champions.
Look, I mean, I'll be honest with you. See if somebody had offered me the first 3 games where we won them all, we kept clean sheets, I'd have probably been quite happy. I think the nature of the game is up here. Obviously, when you're a Rangers fan, you always want more. You know, we want more for Hadji.
Mm-hmm.
We want more goals when it's 3-0 after 50 minutes. We want to be taking 5, 6, 7 off of these teams. But then it's trying to strike the balance, because we need to get all our players on the pitch to gain minutes. Because if at some point over the next couple of months Alfredo does leave, we need to have given like Itten and Roof enough minutes so that they can come in and then be part of the team.
Mm-hmm.
But if Alfredo plays every minute between now and before he goes, and then we put this guy into the team, we can't expect it to hit the ground running. So it's important that every game that we are a couple of goals up and that we feel comfortable that we can give him 25 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe Roof starts maybe in a couple of weeks' time, because I think to me, like, Roof looks as though he's the one that's furthest away in terms of his fitness. But some of the things for Roof tonight was good. The fact he's came short for the ball, it looks as though he's got nice quick feet. But what I've seen of some of his other videos in his time at Leeds, he's obviously got a nice turn of pace on him. He can score different types of goals. It'll be interesting to see where the manager plays him over the season. The fact he's brought him on in the 10 tonight is interesting, because that's where I think he will be used more rather than as a 9. But it might be in certain games where we're trying to stretch their game, where we're trying to... I mean, somewhere like Parkhead, for instance, it's probably better to have a quicker striker at Parkhead so you can get the defenders turned and get in behind them. Whereas maybe against somebody who's a bit like sort of Kilmarnock and Leominster over the next 2 games, they're going to be physical. It's going to be combative. So, you know, that sort of game suits like Itten probably more than it would suit Roof.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's good to have the balance of the two of them, because they can offer slightly different things to us in the higher end of the pitch.
And Wally Boyd, is there any argument over man of the match?
Not for me. I thought in the first half, especially when things weren't really, you know, fully flowing quite yet, Barisic and Jack were the only two I thought that were really looking for the ball. Everyone was going through Jack. He was always out to Barisic. He was busy up and down that line, so he was absolutely busy all game. Thought he had a wee bit more quiet second half, obviously, but I think he was the standout man in the match, to be honest.
And I don't suppose there's any arguments there, guys. I mean, we've mentioned it already, but Borna Barisic, he's just been outstanding, and he just keeps going from strength to strength.
Yeah, look, Bournemouth's a quality player. Look, I think we've spoken off in the pods about how good Bournemouth is. I mean, Bournemouth's value for me, it's hard to know how much he's worth. I saw there was a thing about Leeds potentially were interested, and I saw something silly like 5 or 6 million. That wouldn't even buy his right foot. You know what I mean? Without buying his left foot. So I don't know where people get some of the figures for. See, if Bournemouth leaves Rangers, it's going to be for a pretty high fee.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this guy is now probably one of the first names in the team sheet. He's been consistent probably for about the last 8, 9, 10 months since the St Mirren game where they got the free kick. He's basically been pretty much one of our best players every single week. You know, he gets forward at will. He's creating goals. He's now got this ability to hit an unbelievable free kick as well. And I mean, the only other player that I thought that was maybe close to man of the match tonight, some people might disagree, but I actually thought that Glenn Kamara had a really good game. I thought Glenn's moving the ball was good. I know him and Ryan get a bit of grief on Twitter and people going about the 2 defensive midfield players, but these guys do a lot of the unforeseen work, and it's them that get the ball into Rebo, it's them that get the ball into Hadji, into Ken, and it's them that are also covering when Barisic is 50 yards up the pitch and when Tav's 50 yards up the pitch. So there's got to be a balance in there somewhere, you know. I thought Glenn was good. I thought Glenn had a really good game, but I mean, Bournemouth, I think it was probably too easy to pick Bournemouth, to be honest, because he was the standout. But I think just behind him, I thought Glenn had a really good game.
To be fair, obviously, Adam, you had to nip away there because I think you were in the middle of a domestic. But Wally Irwin there was just talking about Glenn Kamara. Now, see, I've got a slightly different opinion, and maybe it'll be wrong once I watch the game back again. But I didn't think like Glenn was particularly good tonight. I thought his passing was a wee bit lazy, and I just didn't think all round he was that good tonight. What do you think of Kamara's performance?
So I probably share Willie's opinion. I thought he was decent. He's always looking to get the ball. Probably like to see him play a few more forward passes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's always on the ball. He's always looking to move the play on. But I thought he had a decent game today. I think it was even mentioned by Clive Tilsley as well.
Well, that just shows you exactly what I know. I can just imagine the comments right now. He doesn't know anything. What's he talking about?
Yeah, I'm off my screen.
What I would say quickly about like sort of Glenn and Ryan, they do a lot of work on the pitch that isn't fancy. It's no spectacular. It's no like Hadji doing wee flicks over the ball or Kent doing a wee trick. These 2 guys play a very important part in the system that the manager's using. And it's important that, see if one of these guys is displaced and another player comes in, that other player's got to come in and do the defensive side of the job as well. It's not just about being higher up the pitch and getting goals and being that attacking midfield player. It's important that the player is probably box to box almost, that he can do the defensive side and the attacking side, because what the 2 guys do is allow all the other players in the pitch, especially the attacking players, to go and do their job without having to worry about coming back and defending a lot of the time.
Well, listen, I stand corrected. Maybe I was wrong, but I'll watch it back and then I'll have a proper comment about Kamara. But listen, 3 games, 3 wins, no goals conceded, top of the league, happy days. Wullie Irwin, Willie Boyd, Adam Robertson, thanks very much for your time tonight. Thanks everybody for watching. It was our first time on Facebook Live, so I apologise if I seemed a little bit nervous. But listen, thanks for watching and good night.